hit mute on the lines here. Very good. All right, everybody should be muted except for yours truly. So I will welcome everybody to the NTI Leader Call, February the 19th, here on this beautiful Tuesday morning in Knoxville. Skies are gray, but I'm going to tell you what, as the song says, I've got sunshine on a cloudy day because I've got networking today, right? So, okay, maybe the song left out the networking today part, but you get the drift, all right? Now, we may have slightly more, slightly less than 18 slides. That's why I just jumped right over that one. A little conference call etiquette for everybody. If you don't know if your line is muted, I want to encourage all of you to find the mute button and hit mute. But if you don't know if your phone line is muted or if there's a technical glitch within GoToMeeting, I want to make sure that you don't use the bathroom. If you do use the bathroom, be quiet about it. Don't yell at the children, answer the door, answer another call, or talk bad about the call host, or talk bad about Jeremy while he's talking, especially when we unmute the lines so that Jeremy can talk, because in the system, I see all the callers. Unfortunately, I'm not sure which line is Jeremy, so I don't want to mute the wrong person or unmute the right person or whatever. You know what I'm saying. But just make sure to be respectful when you're on the call. Keep background noises to a minimum, and make sure not to talk bad about anybody. That would be such a blessing. Thank you all for your kind consideration. I want to say welcome to anyone that is on the line that is a new meeting leader. You are welcome. And we're so glad that you're here. And each and every other week, we have a call just like this. I want to remind everyone that if you cannot make the call, or if you have to bail off the call but wanted to come back and listen and or watch the PowerPoint presentation, it is all on the Meeting Leader Resources page. The Meeting Leader Resources page is designed exclusively for meeting leaders. It is not designed for the leadership within your meeting. Although that being said, you may have a right-hand man, so to speak, right-hand woman, so to speak, that needs access to that, and that is okay. But if any of you need access to that Meeting Leader Resources page, please make sure to reach out to me and/or, well, preferably Meeting Leader Support, and Meeting Leader Support will make sure to get you access to the Meeting Leader Resources page, where this video, the one I'm recording on my screen, and the audio can be heard, so that you can come back and be encouraged, multiple times over. I'm telling you guys, I cannot even put into words how good I felt it was to have Mark Williams speak to us on the last call about the liberty that he has and that he enjoys at Networking Today, and the freedom and the creative freedom that he has at Networking Today that he could not get anywhere else. It was so powerful, and it's been on the Meeting Leader Resources page for 2 weeks. And so if you've not heard that, man, I tell you, you really missed it. And after today's call, it will be there for about 30 minutes. And then this call will be uploaded. So just so you guys know how that works, but welcome to all our new meeting leaders. So each and every call, I cover a little tip and fact and things like that about servant leadership. Here at Networking Today, we're all about servant leadership and the servant leader spirit. And according to the Center for Servant Leadership, it is defined as a philosophy and a set of practices that enriches the lives of individuals, builds better organizations, aka networking organizations, and ultimately creates a more just and caring world. And I've bought into this idea. And I think, as many of you have heard me say repeatedly now, but I think it's worth repeating, and also I think it's worth hearing if you're just hearing it for the first time. I don't think that any of us struggle with the philosophy side. I think we struggle with the set of practices. So on each and every call, I highlight a practice that you can put into your business, into your family, into your friendships, and maybe directly applicable to this call into your networking meeting that will be a blessing to all of those around you. All right. So on the last call, we talked about being helpful. Do your members see you as a giving person? or someone they can turn to for assistance. Today, I believe the key principle we can learn from about servant leadership is being firm. Being firm. Do your members know you are, quote, a firm leader? Firm meaning, according to dictionary.com, not soft or yielding when pressed. Do you believe what you are doing and why you are doing it in your core? Like, not at a surface level, but in your heart? Or is it just lip service? What I want to say to you guys is, like anything else on this planet, when you do something and it is a deep-rooted belief that you're doing it and the reason why you're doing it, not just what you're doing, but how you're doing it, why you're doing it, it all comes straight from the heart. I have an old friend of mine that used to say, and I would encourage all of you to write this down. He used to say, what's in the well comes up in the bucket. What's in the well comes up in the bucket. And, you know, look, I'm not trying to go Bible on you guys each and every call, but the Bible says, as the, you know, what's in the heart, that the mouth speaketh what is in the heart. And so what do you find yourself saying? When you record yourself or listen to yourself leading your meeting, have you ever videotaped yourself leading your meeting? Have you ever turned the audio button on when you do your opening dialogue or when you're doing your 20-minute spotlight or these types of activities? Have you ever done that so that you can hear what you're saying? And not just what you're saying, but how you're saying it. You know, and what I want to say is that you are going to have to come out from time to time, and you're going to have to remain firm. You are the leader, and you cannot be perceived as a pushover. You cannot be perceived, and I'm not saying be a jerk. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But, like, let me give you guys an example. Last week in my meeting, we had a guy who's a little bit of a newbie, and my meeting is large enough that we've had to break our business briefs into two groups. One of the groups gets a full 60 seconds, and the other group gets 3 seconds. And then the next week we rotate it, okay? That way, everybody gets to say, hi, I'm Rich. I'm with Networking Today, and I'm looking for members in meetings, and shut up and sit down. Like, that took less than 3 seconds. But if it is my turn to get a full 60 seconds, I take a full minute and plug what it is I'm looking for, who I am, you know, a little bit about Networking Today, whatever, and I take a full minute to do that. Well, this guy, it was his 3-second week, and he took literally 3 minutes. Literally. The week before was his 1 minute, and he took 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Now, you say, Rich, how did you let him go 5 minutes, or how did you let him go 3? He's a newbie. He's a newbie, guys. I remind you, he's a newbie. And so I wasn't trying to insult him. I was trying to let him experience how everyone else does it a couple of weeks in a row, but he did not get the message. So this last week, I said, Chris, thank you very much. And he goes, no, I know I'm rambling. I'm rambling. I said, Chris, no, seriously, thank you very much. I need you to be quiet and sit down because we got a time to keep. And so you'll get your turn again next week, man, but time is up. He sat down. His demeanor, his face was noticeably different than when he stood up. And you see, I had to be firm in my meeting, and I've always had to be firm in my meeting, because otherwise, if I have 40 people in my meeting and they all take 2 minutes, we've got 80 minutes gone of a 90-minute meeting, and we're not even done with business briefs. You see? So I have to run my meeting. I have to start my meeting. I have to run my meeting according to the clock, not according to how I feel about somebody sympathetically. And out of respect to the other 39 people or 69 people or however many people are there, I have to be firm, and I've got to be the, quote, the jerk, the firm one. So, but it comes with servant leadership. It comes with being a servant to the rest of the people in the meeting. Look, being a servant leader doesn't mean that you yield to someone who is dominant and overtaking the meeting. Make sure that if you're the meeting leader and you have someone that is rambling on and on and on for their business brief, or even, I had one business spotlight speaker, a 20-minute speech. take 40 minutes. Now, this was not in my meeting. This was in somebody else's meeting. But news came to me that it took 40 minutes for this person to do their business spotlight. And I said to the meeting leader, why didn't you shut him down? He's like, well, I don't want to offend her. Offender, you offended the other people in your meeting. Okay, so what I'm saying to you, by the way, if the tone of my voice or whatever, people say, Rich, why do you sound so mad? I'm not mad. Okay, I'm not. I got a smile on my face, believe it or not. But what I'm saying to you guys is, you've got to be a little bit firm. Yeah, there's something to be said for being nurturing, and there's something to be said to being compassionate. There's something to be said to being, understanding. And we need to be all of those things that we talked about on the last several calls. But the other thing that you have to be is respectful to everyone else in the meeting. And by being firm with someone who is out of control, you are actually showing respect to everybody else in the meeting, and you will gain respect by everybody else in the meeting. So I'm going to jump off this, but just understand the point that today's key word, today's principle, set of practices that you can put into place in your meeting is keeping it running on time. Execute the meeting as it's designed, and I believe that you will benefit from it. The professionals, the meeting is designed the way it is designed specifically for a reason, and that is because professionals and professional networkers that come to your meeting have an expectation of how it's going to run, and you, as the meeting leader, are responsible to be firm if someone's out of control. Don't worry about anything coming back to me. If somebody comes back to me and says, oh, that Jeremy Reed's a real jerk, that guy, man, he's such an idiot, man. He told me to shut up and sit down. I'm going to say, well, were you running long? Yeah, well, I was a little bit long. Well, then you should stick with the time. Shut up and sit down, dude, So don't worry about that coming back to me. I'm just saying that you guys, I will support you in being firm in your meeting. Don't be a jerk, but be firm and stick to the rules. That's why the rules are there, and respect everybody in the meeting. Don't forget, we've got this awesome new meeting incentive program. I am now working on a contest that will capitalize on the new meeting incentive program that I think everyone on this call and everyone within Networking Today will love. And it'll be a real money-making opportunity. Now, I want to get to some other things real quick. Meeting leader support, don't forget, everybody that is on the line, I am still getting your emails and I'm still getting your text messages. And I want you to know, I love you. God bless each and every meeting leader Networking Today has. But understand, I'm at a place, and Networking Today is at a place where I can no longer meet the demands of all of the service expectations. And that is why we have meeting leader support. Please, if you just go to either email or call meeting leader support, or if you go to the meeting leader resources page, okay, and fill out that form that I talked about 2 weeks ago, and you push the little button, support, and you can order literature. If those of you meeting leaders on the call don't have literature, just go to the website and order it. It's okay. We'll get it done for you. But if you send me an email or you send me a text, it is likely to get delayed. And it's not because I don't love you, and not because I don't care, and not because I don't any of that. I want you to know I love you to death. And that is why we have meeting leader support. We have them there to help you. Now, you say, Rich, I need your time. I need to talk to you. Great, fine. Let's set that time up, and let's give each other that time and respect and mutual, adoration. But I just want you to know that if it's something to do with your meeting, a meeting location change came to me via text just yesterday. And that's wonderful. I'm glad. Okay, I'm glad. It came to me, and the meeting leader support is kind of new, but just know that it is there for you for these things that you need to do that are administrative that we can simply update, all right? Don't forget about those new resources. Now, as it comes down to meeting leadership and this idea of being firm, I wanted to address this really quick because some things have been brought to my attention by members, okay? Now, I'm not going to talk long here because I want to give Jeremy the time of day. I'm going to say some things that I hope don't offend you, but I need to be direct here, okay? Networking Today charges a very, very nominal fee for membership, $25 a month or $250 a year. And when we came up with our pricing model, we developed that pricing model and our cost model because of individual interviews I had with a variety of people, from realtors to property and casualty like State Farm and Allstate agents. I talked to Mary Kay reps and ACN reps, and I talked to, Legal Shield representatives, and I talked to just so many different people. And I asked, how many sales would you need in order to pay for $25 a month or $250 a year? And not one of them said more than 3. Not one of them. You may be in a business where you say, Rich, I need 4. Okay, or I need 5. Okay, but still, the way we came up with this originally was that's how it was developed. And I said, that is our magic number, $25. Anybody in business should be able to afford $25 a month. And if they can't, and they're not getting $25 worth of value out of your meeting, they shouldn't either go to your meeting or they shouldn't be in business, one or the other, okay? Now, I'm not trying to be mean. But if you have a member that is not listed in the directory, okay, you guys know how to get to the directory, right? You can do it on the website. You can do it on the app. You just open the app, go to the directory, type in Rich DeForest. Rich DeForest pops up. If Rich DeForest is not in the directory, then Rich DeForest is not a paying member. Or Rich DeForest is not a 501c3 charitable member, okay? Or a meeting leader, something like that. They're not a member in any regard, actually, if they're not in the directory. It might be that there's a problem with their billing. It could be that they expired and they're past due, and somehow they fell through the cracks, because we're all humans. We all make mistakes, and somehow they slipped through the cracks, and we, miss reaching out to them. They should not be doing a business spotlight for 20 minutes if they're not a member of NTI. A business brief is one thing. And this is a FAQ, one of the most frequently asked questions I get. In fact, I was just asked this yesterday. How many visits does a potential member get before we ask them to join? I say, and have coached and trained, the way to do that is to simply say, hey, how many visits do you think you need? You need 1? The truth is, you probably know if this is a meeting you would want to join already in your heart. That's probably the truth. However, somebody says to me, I need 5 visits to see if I like it or not. Okay, then I'll help you join on the 6th visit. Let's not be jerks about the whole deal. And in the business brief, the 60-second, business brief that we give to both members and non-members alike, the goal here is we still want them, unlike some other networking organizations, we still want them to be able to ask for business. We're not trying to block anyone from being able to give, what it is that they're looking for and ask for business. We want to help people. We want them to obviously ask for business. But I'm getting some complaints that meeting leaders are not asking their visitors, non-paying members, to join. And people are coming. And what happens is, by catering to that person because you're afraid to ask them to join, you're offending the paying members. And it's a negative snowball effect. I want to say to each and every one of you that your member management is important. If you need assistance or help or additional conversation about this, please call me. But if they are not a member and you're giving them the floor for the spotlight, the 20-minute spotlight, then we have an issue. Now, we've had charities come in before and speak. In some of the smaller meetings, we didn't have a speaker, and so maybe the mayor came in, or maybe the vice president of the local chamber came in, or maybe someone like that, a public figure came in. Those exceptions to the rules are okay. But if you're letting people who come to your meeting each and every week but who are not paying members be the spotlight speaker, that is problematic for your meeting. And I'm getting some complaints from some of the members and some of the different meeting locations. So I'm trying to address this publicly before I come to you individually, because there might be others that are having this issue as well. So I'm trying to address it with all of us. Just make sure that if they're speaking, that they have a paid membership, or that they're a charity or something. Okay, I think I've said enough about that, but if I've not, make sure to let me know. Run your meeting according to Networking Today standards. Run your meeting according to Networking Today guidelines. If you don't, and you don't like Networking Today guidelines, or you don't like what Networking Today structure, then perhaps you should go start your own networking organization. That's okay too. Okay? Go start your own. Our structure is designed the way it is for a specific reason, and especially in locations like Knoxville where you've got 10, 11 meetings, we all need to be in harmony with each other. Otherwise, it's creating conflicts and problems in other meetings, okay? Now, don't forget, if you have a member complaining about another meeting in your area, then tell them not to go to that other meeting. It's simple. No one's making them attend the other meeting. If you have a member that's coming to you complaining about another meeting, what I say to them is, then why do you still go to that meeting? Oh, well, I want to go. Why are you going if you're coming to me complaining about it? Look, don't go if you're going to complain about it, okay? And tell the member, tell the person, be direct with them. Say, if you are not happy with that meeting, stop going to it. It's really super simple, all right? All right, enough said. Moving right along. I want to highlight the Visitor Day contest. It is over, obviously. You guys will remember some of these details. We're going to give away $2,019 in total cash to be given away. Okay, you guys remember that we had these gifts broken up, $519 to the meeting with the most first-time visitors and the meeting location. And the NTI member with the most new members during the contest period, we win $500 and all this. Remember all this? And then we had this one rule, and the one rule said if we don't get 100 new members total to qualify, then it's going to be reduced proportionally. Remember that? And people said to me, Rich, that's horrible. What are you doing? You're lowering, you're rah, rah, rah. Everyone complained, well, if we don't hit 100 new members, we're not going to win anything. So I said, okay, fine, we'll lower it proportionally if we don't hit the goal, There's like, well, we can't hit 100 new members between January 7th and February. You're asking too much. Well, just so you guys know, check this out. Contest period sets between January 7th and February the 16th. During that period of time, we had one, ladies and gentlemen, canceled member that I know of that's on the books that either hasn't been deleted or whatever. One is in the system between that period of time. Secondly, we had 9 complimentary members. Now that's meeting leaders. That's that consists of a lot of different things, charities, etc. Okay, but check this out. We had 100, ladies and gentlemen, check this out. 102 new members, paying members at Networking Today between January 7th and February 16th. And you can't hear this, you can't see this, but my hat is off to you. And the crowd is, clapping and applauding, and, the crowd is going wild for the meeting leaders that are making this happen, like Jeremy Reed, who we're going to hear about and, hear from in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, meeting leaders are cranking it up. I just got off the phone with Anna Alt yesterday. We had such a great conversation because her meeting is skyrocketing. We had a meeting that has been kind of a sleeper for a little while, had 3 members join yesterday. Look, we're growing. We just got to keep doing the right things. And so congratulations to all of us. Networking Today owes all of us a good chunk of money, and it's on the way. I can just tell you that we got to get to March the 1st. We got to make sure all the members stick. And if all those members stick, then, you guys remember, we got it. All the members, the new members had to be new members on March the 1st when we run the numbers, and then we'll pay out. It's going to be huge. It's going to be fantastic. You're going to love it. Many of you will be receiving money. Your members will be receiving money. It's fantastic. Way to go. Rock and roll, Networking Today meeting leaders. Killing it out there with your networking savvy. Good job, everybody. I'm so happy. And I'll be happy for the next contest to pay out once again. All right? I love paying out money. It's so fun because that means we're all making money together. So I am going to unmute the lines. Please, again, mute your line if you would, please, because I don't know which line is Jeremy here. I should have figured that out beforehand. I'm sorry I didn't, but we'll work that out next time. All right, so all the lines are unmuted now. Jeremy Reed, my good friend from Greater Cleveland, welcome to the Meeting Leader Call, my friend.
Thank you, Rich. Can you hear me?
We can hear you wonderfully, perfect, and I think everybody can hear you. And so, Jeremy, I asked you to come on because you are one of the newest meeting leaders. But what many people on this call may not know, Jeremy, is you and others with you came all the way from Cleveland to Knoxville to celebrate Thanksgiving with us. And you started ramping up, and then you had officially a kickoff, I think it was in January, and you've been rocking and rolling ever since. Jeremy, my man, tell people and your fellow meeting leaders, you know, on the call, how are you doing it? What's unique? How are you rocking and rolling?
Well, first, I want to thank you for letting me have a chance to speak today to everybody on the call. I'm super excited to be a partner and a meeting leader with NTI. When a few of my business partners and I came down to Knoxville for Thanksgiving, we basically came because my good friend Max Sherrill just kept on gloating on you guys, talking about how great the group was, and everybody supported each other. And I don't know how much you guys know about ACN, but ACN and NTI just kind of mirror each other in the beliefs. You know, the relationship first, charitable, thinking of other people, servant leadership. Those are all things that we talk about every day in ACN. So when I came down there, I just felt like, and my team and my business partners, we all just felt like we were home. Like this is our place. Rich DeForest is our guy. You know, we just love where your core values are, and we got excited. And at that point, there was about 5 of us interested in starting the group. We came back, had a couple of small meetings, and we launched. Yes, sir.
Jeremy, I want to interrupt you just to say you are at home, brother. I don't want it just to feel like home. You are at home, and I'm glad that you're on board, man.
Hey, we're excited, man. We're very happy to be a part of it. So about, I think, 5 or 6 weeks ago, maybe, we officially launched our chapter. And last week at our meeting, we had 34 people in our meeting. 24 were guests. We had about 5 or 6 of our members that were out of town, but I expect to have 30 to 40 people there again tomorrow. And it's the feeling in the room, the excitement in the room is just unbelievable. I think we're really just following the structure that's there. What I love about NTI is there's a structure there, but I also feel like I started my own networking group, if that makes sense. Like you allow us to be leaders and do our own thing, but the structure is there and support, so we don't have to just wing it. And I love that. And I just love to inspire other people, and I love to make a difference in the community. And that's something that we talk about on a weekly basis at our meetings. You know, what can we do to make a difference? How can we help? And I like to make sure that everybody knows there that the way I feel like a networking group should meet, everybody's been to a networking group, including myself, my first time going to a network, walk into a networking meeting saying, how can I get business out of here? And that is just a backwards way of thinking when it comes to networking. So I really talk to my people and lean on them to, when you come to a networking group, if this is your first time here, come to this room and think, how can I help other people in this room? Who can I help grow their business? And it's just becomes infectious. You know, we have a strong belief system already from where we come from, and we believe just as much. And NTI, you know, my goal is to have over 50 members in the group in the next few months. And not only that, we expect to have a meeting every day of the week. So I want to bring to the table that everybody in our group can go to a meeting Monday through Friday in the area and meet other sharp business people. So we're developing other meeting leaders as we go. You know, we just looking to build a massive team, and it's super exciting. I really believe in belief in yourself, belief in the system, and like you said, I don't want to pound in the Bible too much, but belief in God. So, but with those 3 beliefs, you really can't be stopped. You know, if you have belief and passion, those are contagious things. Very contagious things. I'm a firm believer that if you believe in something 99%, but you have 1% doubt, whether it be in you or in a system or in God, 99% is not enough. 1% doubt will crush 99% belief. And you've got to have 100% belief in what you're doing, who you're doing it with. And we believe 100% in what we're doing. We have a lot of passion, and we're just really excited to make a difference. You know, making money is obviously something very important to me. My family, we have 5 kids. You know, we had a house fire a few years ago, so making money is important. But more important than anything to me is inspiring other people to do something massive, to help other people have success, and to be a part of that and to witness that. And that's why I love networking, and I love networking today. And I love you, Rich DeForest. I appreciate you having me on.
Jeremy, thank you so much. And actually what you're saying, and I hope, I don't know, having the meeting leaders on the call, Jeremy, I'm really hoping that it's inspiring and encouraging others of us. Look, I'm a meeting leader. Those of you that think, that Rich DeForest sits at corporate and I'm not out in the field with you, I know the complaints. I know what you hear from others. I need you guys to know that I'm right there with you. I've got a 70-person chapter, and sometimes it's down in attendance, and sometimes it's up, and I get people that complain about this member or that member, just like you do. But one of the things that Jeremy has said, and Jeremy, you've been rocking and rolling, man. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think you're one of the fastest meetings that has raced to near 25, 30 members. I didn't look today. I should have looked before I got on the call. But you're rocking and rolling, but it's because of what you said, and it's also because of what Mark Williams said on the last call, guys. Mark Williams mentioned that he finally realized after almost 2 years, nearly 2 years, that he wasn't going to Networking Today just for himself, but by him leading a meeting and by him organizing the meeting and by him having his meeting, he was also doing it for his community. And Jeremy, that's one of the things you just said, man. Giving back and creating an environment where others can be blessed and prosper. Man, that is really important in addition to yourself, right?
100%. Something else that's really been helping us is at every meeting I talk in depth about let's give some love to today's spotlight speaker. After this meeting's over right now, go on Facebook and talk about how great Rich DeForest is. His tire, if anybody needs tires, Rich DeForest is a guy you can trust. He just blew me away with his knowledge. I'm so excited to be networking with this gentleman. If anybody needs tires, he's your guy. And then we're taking a group photo of the team each week, and we're tagging everybody in that. So it's viral. Everybody in our group and everybody on their pages is seeing that. And then the next week, other people are coming to the meeting because they see what we're doing for these other business owners. And, it's the enthusiasm and the excitement in the room. And my favorite part of the meeting, honestly, Rich, is when we break after the briefing, that little 5-10 minutes right there is when magic happens. I can just see business being passed all over. It's like crazy. It's exciting.
And Jeremy, here's the thing that we as meeting leaders need to realize. By the way, Jeremy, I want to move along with the call. Thank you very much for your willingness to come on and share. And I look forward to you bringing an update to us in a few weeks, man. Keep rocking and rolling. I'm just going to go ahead and mute all the lines again. But I'm telling you guys, we also need to work with each other. Okay. You need to feel free to reach out to Jeremy and say, Jeremy, what are you doing? And then Jeremy needs to feel free to reach out to Tara and reach out to Sharon K. Wood. Sharon K. Wood who's on the call today. Sharon K. Wood has been with Networking Today like practically since the beginning of time. If you want to know the heartbeat of Networking Today, reach out to her. I know she would love to hear from you. And she may need to get it on her schedule at a time that is convenient for her and a time that's convenient for you. But the opportunity to communicate with each other and help each other, is huge, because we need to support each other. Listen to the excitement. Listen to the vision that Jeremy has. I do the same thing. I sat back at my meeting during our break when all the networking is happening, and I love taking video at that very moment and saying, look at what is happening. Relationships are being built. Referrals are being shared. Revenue is being generated. Small business owners are being encouraged and inspired. And guess what? We want to do the same thing for you when you're the business spotlight. So don't sit there and wait for someone else to do it. You also do it. And I tried my best to encourage everyone to do likewise. And I'm telling you, it can be powerful. And if you see the greater vision of what you're building, it may not pay a dividend immediately. But the bridge to success that you are building, the bridge that you are building, the foundation that you are building is a bridge to your success in the future. Grant Cardone, who I mentioned repeatedly on these leadership calls, says obscurity is the number one reason for business failure. If you're struggling in sales, if you're struggling, it's because people don't know you. It's not that people are not advertising. It's not that people don't need tires, like Jeremy said. It is not that people don't need flowers or candy or whatever it is that you have. It's that you are not top of mind. And what you can do, and by building a networking group and by having meetings all across Cleveland and all across St. Louis, you cannot grow weary in well-doing. You have to keep the vision and understand what it is that you're building. And it is a name for yourself in the community and a reputation that when people know they're looking for someone that they can depend on and trust, it is your name that they think of. So Jeremy, great job. I want to encourage you, brother, like you have encouraged us. You're doing very, very miraculous things in Cleveland. And I just want you to keep it up, keep going, see the vision. And then the rest of us, may God help us to be inspired and encouraged by what we heard Jeremy say today. All right, I'm going to move right along, okay? But these things, I believe, are important. All right, so each and every week, I like to talk about a book. Those of you that have not been on the call a while, I have been mentioning for the last 3 or 4 calls, this book, The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster by Darren Hardy. Look, knowledge is power, okay? This book is phenomenal. And I'm just asking you to get a copy of it because I believe it will have that kind of impact in your life. If any of you have read this book because I've recommended it, you've come out, or maybe you've read it because, not because of my recommendation, but you've read it maybe in the past, or you've read it of your own volition. You found it somehow on your own. Great. I would love to hear from you because this book is transformational in the way that you think about your business. You're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. You're going to have ups and downs in your meeting as well. You cannot let that discourage you in business any more than you can let it discourage you in your meeting. And the applications, by the way, you're going to have ups and downs in your marriage. You're going to have ups and downs with your children. You're going to have ups and downs with your friends. You'll have ups and downs at your church. Life is filled with ups and downs. The roller coaster of life doesn't change because Networking Today has some magic pixie dust powder that we sprinkle on life. And so this book, written by Darren Hardy, you can download and listen to on Audible. Listen to it while you drive. Turn off the crap you're listening to. Turn off the political junk that you're feeding your mind with. Turn off the music that is just endless with emptiness and start filling your mind and your heart with knowledge. And because that knowledge turns into power and you become, what it is you're filling your mind and your heart with. Okay. This is one of those books. And I keep recommending it because I think the minute you hop off the call, you're like, I got this to do, I got that to do, and you forget about it. Please, I want to encourage each and every one of you who are meeting leaders listening to the sound of my voice to get a copy of this and other books like this that I've recommended and begin to fill your mind. And I believe it'll help you. All right, that being said, look, our next call is March the 5th, March the 5th, 2019. Those of you who have sent me messages because your meeting location has changed, or, I got a message the other day that you went to your meeting location page in the app or the website and the header read just the same as it does for everybody else. Well, the staff that sets the pages up, they don't know you personally. So the staff sets up, that text is very plain, very generic text. But the meeting leader wanted something different, or the meeting leader assistant wanted something different to be written in that header. And so he or she sent it to me, and they said, I actually don't know exactly who it was that sent it to me, but they sent it to me and they said, how about this? And I loved it. And so we've got that change being made on the header there of their location page. Go to your meeting location page. Make sure that the map is right. Make sure that the text and email link is right. Make sure that your phone number and your email and your name is spelled right and there's no typos. Make sure that the header, if you wanted to say something a little bit more sexy than what it currently says, we will do that for you. All you got to do is ask. All you got to do is send it to Meeting Leader Support, and they'll help you. I promise we want to do it for you. So make it yours. Make it unique. We give you that flexibility at Networking Today. All right. I'll see y'all again in 2 weeks. I'm going to unmute the lines, and if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, I'm here to answer those questions. But those of you that need to fly, I will point out, if you take a look at your watch, it is only 1:13. Booyah. We're done over 15 minutes early. That's how we roll at Networking Today. Go have a great 2 weeks. I love you guys. I thank you guys. You're killing it. You're making a difference in Networking Today. And I am forever grateful to each and every one of you that are along for the journey. I love you guys. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and